It seems strange. You're so used to you saying hello, Facebook. Now you're saying YouTube. Have you mixed them up yet?
No, not yet. It's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. You sort of get the idea that you know what you're going to say, and then something else actually comes out. So I'm going to say that at some point.
End up calling it U-Book and FaceTube.
Possibly. I mean, our show's moved to YouTube, and the show I do with Brigetti on Friday, that's moved to YouTube as well.
Yeah.
So I've got a mix of the two, really.
Are you staying with both?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to YouTube, and well, the trick is working out how to actually get a video so that people can see it.
Yeah.
And
videos are not so easy then.
No. When we did the 5 days.
Sorry, it's my phone. Can I quickly answer this? And
of course. I'll drop you down, and the only person who can, I'm going to switch your microphone off. So Fonz has gone on silent mode. You can see that my green screen needs straightening up, but we are ready to go live. I'm just going to go, and basically we need an audience for this. So I'm waiting till people have been advised. But during today's show, we'll be doing the quiz as normal, and also having a natter. And is Fonz ready to come back? Okay, I'll turn Fonz's microphone on, which is what I forgot to do last time, and bring Fonz up onto the screen.
Nobody heard me last time.
Well, this time they can, because your microphone is on. Your microphone is on.
So guess what I was saying in the first half. No, it's my son phoning me, not realising that I was doing the show today instead of yesterday.
Right. Okay. Time shift.
Yeah.
Time shift. We've moved to today, and it's a question of basically whether people actually find us on YouTube. I mean, we shared out that we're going to be live at 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. And people have seen that, but they won't get a reminder on Facebook about the show. And unless they subscribe to my channel recently, they won't get a reminder from YouTube either. So might be a bit of sharing involved.
Yeah. But it's always there for people to look back up in weeks to come, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we're going great guns on the replays. When I did the,
it seems to be replays are more popular than the live. That's what I find.
I totally agree. I'm just moving my microphone. Apologies for any noise.
No. I put my project that I did, Cambridge in 2015 video up. When it was like premiered on Facebook, only I think 4 people.
You're very popular this afternoon. See you in a minute.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, and switch off Fonz's microphone. Mute, hopefully. And that's the direct link for the show, which we'll put onto Facebook later. And this, at the moment, we're not going to be able to give you a direct link to the show because we can't schedule the show on YouTube yet. We're waiting. It'll be the first quarter of 2020 when we do have the ability to actually schedule shows on YouTube. And that will make a great deal of difference, because then we can just post a link everywhere before we go live, and we can actually promote heavily. In the meantime, I've got a thumbs up as my earpiece drops out. A thumbs up from Fonz.
That's what you get for changing the day of a show, and people that you're usually in communication with on a Wednesday about other stuff, other businesses. That I'm going to put it on silent. I'm going to put it on silent, and I'll call them all back if they ring anymore.
Okay.
Because it's bound to keep ringing.
Right. Well, my phone's on charge, so I know it's safely out of the way at the moment. Right. Shall you and I do a quiz?
Yeah.
And see how we do, and see if anybody joins us partway through.
Well, here's a quiz for everybody. How many more times is my phone going to ring?
No, right. So I'm going to share the screen, and it's the Crown tab, and it's the one with 1970 songs on it. And I'm going to bring that up on the screen. Right, and I'm going to switch Fonz's camera off. I'm going to switch my camera off.
But this is a really brilliant, even like if you got, not just for the show, but like if you got friends around or something, or some, like you want to pass the time away, and you've got your phone or tablet handy, it's a good pastime thing,
it is.
isn't it?
It's like Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah, but with music. Is it just music? Is it, I think in movies as well, can't you? Science, computer, literature, classical. Oh, I'm not good at that. History. That'd be my thing.
Right.
So it's got varied topics.
It has. Shall we play?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so Fonz and I are going to go for 10 out of 10. So who had a hit with this song, Fire and Rain? Was it Led Zeppelin, James Taylor, George Harrison, or Black Sabbath?
Oh, it's not George Harrison, I know that.
Right, okay. And I, as a Led Zeppelin fan, I can say it's not Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not. Is it Black Sabbath?
And as a Black Sabbath fan, I can say it's not Black Sabbath.
Oh, right. So it's James Taylor.
We could be totally wrong. At least it could be where we drop out. So we go with James Taylor.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I know it went George Harrison.
All right.
Not his kind of style of song.
No, it's not. It's not. And we're on to one. I've got to say on this one, I don't really know. Who had a hit with this song, 25 or 6 to 4? Was it Joni Mitchell?
Well, I know for a fact it's definitely not the Beatles or the Jimi Hendrix Experience.
Okay, I'm going to go with it's not Chicago.
If you leave me now.
Yep, good. Right. We're actually, it's okay. I guess we're actually on YouTube, so we shouldn't get a problem. So I'm going to
be funny if we did, for me just singing that.
Yeah. Are we going to plump for Joni Mitchell?
Yeah, go for that.
No,
it was Chicago.
It was Chicago. Well, that's it. We've got a problem now because
this song. I know who sung this one, but it's lucky it's 70s hits, because if it was 80s, you'd be stuck between the people that sing it and Madness.
That's true. That's true.
But they've actually got it wrong on here. They got the name wrong.
All right, just a minute then. Who had a hit song with this song? Our House, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, CSNY, Black Sabbath, The Beatles, or Simon and Garfunkel? So what's the deliberate mistake?
Well, it's Crosby, Stills and Nash. Young wasn't a part of it at that point. It's just Crosby, Stills and Nash.
So you're going to go with, that's the answer too?
That is the answer.
That is the answer.
That is Crosby, Stills and Nash. Young,
right.
Young did sing with them, but he wasn't a part of that song.
Right. Okay. I'm just making sure that we're actually live on YouTube. We are. All right. Okay.
I like the way they keep putting the Beatles up on the 1970s, but the Beatles weren't about in the 1970s. Only the first year.
That's true. Who had a hit with this song, After Midnight? James Brown, the Beatles, the Carpenters, or Eric Clapton?
It's a man's world.
Right. So we're going to say it's not the Beatles.
No, it's not the Beatles.
I don't think it's Eric either, is it? Really, it's not.
Don't seem like Eric. It's I reckon James Brown, because I can't picture the Carpenters singing that neither.
No, because After Midnight doesn't sound like a Carpenters title. So we're going to go for James Brown.
Yeah. No, it's not. It was Eric Clapton.
We're not doing well on our own quiz.
Oh, this one's easy.
Would you like to read it then?
Yeah. They long to be close to you. It's George Harrison, the Carpenters, Free, and James Brown.
Right. Okay. It's not George Harrison.
No.
It's not James Brown.
I can't imagine James Brown. Freeze. All right now.
Well, that's the only free track I know.
Yeah, that's the only one I know. So
right.
it's the Carpenters, isn't it?
All right. It's the Carpenters. And we've gone up to 3 points.
Hey.
All right. Okay.
Oh, this
is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Kinks. I think at the time in the 70s, the Kinks, their biggest hit was Lola. La 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 Lola.
Or Sunny Afternoon. Was that 60s?
That was 60s. 70s was Lola. But
okay.
That song is quite funny because I played that in a pub completely drunk. So I don't know how that sounded. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, not his kind of track.
No, it's not, and it's certainly not a Joni Mitchell track.
No taxis in it for Joni Mitchell.
No.
So it's Three Dogs Night.
Yep.
Tom Jones also sung it a bit later, I do believe.
Right. But we got that one right.
They've done this deliberately to make me look a liar, haven't they?
No. Who had a hit with this song, Long and Winding Road? Was it the Beatles, Creedence Clearwater Revival, John Yoko and the Plastic Ono Band, or Mungo Jerry?
It's definitely not Mungo Jerry. Can you imagine it? In the summer? No. The long and wind. He couldn't sing it, could he?
No, I don't think he could.
Creedence Clearwater Revival, that's Bad Moon Rising and Proud Mary and all that.
It is.
John and Yoko, well, we know John was part of the Beatles.
Yeah.
And had some string of brilliant hits after he left the Beatles. But I think at this time he was singing songs like Mother, when this came out, Working Class Hero.
Imagine.
That's a bit like around next album. But when this one came out, I think it was the Plastic Ono Band one. But so it's not them. And to prove me wrong, it's the Beatles. Because I said, why is the Beatles in the 70s? And they only had one album in the 70s, and that was Let It Be and The Long and Winding Road.
Yeah.
Apparently so. A story connected to that. Paul McCartney hates the Let It Be album version because Phil Spector reworked it. Yeah. And he hates the strings in it. And so did George Martin. And actually, George Martin I think it was during the anthology, said that he actually prefers it with no orchestra in it at all, in its raw original.
Good. Okay, the next one. Who had a hit with this song? Lay Down, Candles in the Rain? Or was it
Brilliant song.
Melanie and the Edwin Hawkins Singers, Joni Mitchell, the Kinks, or Smokey Robinson, the Miracles?
Well, I can say a lot of people would be think Joni Mitchell on this track because it's the kind of track that you could probably imagine her singing. It's definitely not Smokey Robinson. I don't think he could. His vocal range is not quite suited to this song, and nor is Ray Davies of the Kinks. But people think it's Joni, but it's actually Melanie and the Edwin Hawkins. It's a brilliant song. Have you heard this song?
Yeah, I think so.
It's brilliant. It goes, lay down, lay down, lay. But the funny thing is, when I was a kid, I heard, what was it? Ruby Tuesday by Melanie. And her voice just, wow. It's like, this is amazing. Her voice was amazing. And it's sort of like fell in love with her voice, thinking her voice is just amazing, and become a big fan of hers.
So we're going to go with Melanie and the Hawkins Singers.
She's the one, you know that song, the words was, "Oh, you got a brand new combine harvester."
I do know that one well, yes.
Yeah, she originally sung it. I've got a brand new key. I've got a brand new pair of roller skates.
Yeah, indeed. And the Edwin Hawkins Singers had a hit on their own, didn't they?
That's right, yeah. I'm trying to think what it is. Oh, Happy Day. Oh, that's Happy Day. That's right. Brilliant. That's a brilliant track in its own right. They are quite... I've got an album in there somewhere. I can't name you all the songs, but brilliant singers.
Right. Okay, so Melanie and the Edwin Hawkins Singers is what we're going to go for. Well done, Fonz.
Yeah. If you haven't heard Lay Down Candle in the Rain, I'd recommend you listen to it. With the introduction, there's two. It's really weird because if you've got the single, there's Candles in the Rain on one side, which is the introduction, where she's like just talking, basically. And then suddenly, turn it over, the song kicks in on side 2. And that's called Lay Down.
Got it. Right. So we were talking about taxis earlier. Who had a hit with this song, Big Yellow Taxi? Was it Edwin Starr, Three Dog Night, Joni Mitchell, or the Beatles?
I'm trying to imagine the Beatles singing this.
Okay. I don't know.
I can imagine they could write something like this, but I can't imagine them singing it.
And it would be a big black cab, wouldn't it? Rather than a... So that's the Beatles out.
But that's a hint of where it comes from. When you're saying Big Yellow Taxi is a hint that it's American.
Yeah.
So that puts the Beatles out. Three Dog Night's British group.
True.
So it's Edwin Starr and Joni Mitchell.
Right. Edwin Starr was War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Indeed. It's got all some good songs in here, but I'm going to go for. I think you might just agree. Joni Mitchell.
Oh, definitely. The bit at the end is brilliant. The song.
Right, and the last question is: all right, who had a hit with this song, "My Sweet Lord"? Was it Black Sabbath, George Harrison, Simon and Garfunkel, or the Guess Who?
Sorry, I can just imagine Black Sabbath singing it.
Yeah.
It's track 2 on the Paranoid album.
Yes. No, I can't actually. No.
It's not Black Sabbath. That's
all right. Okay, and it's not Simon and Garfunkel.
No, I don't know who the Guess Who are.
I don't know how many copies of their albums I've got, but it's not appeared as a track on any of their albums.
I'll tell you, Simon and Garfunkel. You know, the Sounds of Silence.
Mm-hmm.
They redone it for the Sounds of Silence album, but if you got the original from their very first album without all the stuff over the top, it's just the basic vocals and guitar track. I love that version of it.
Right, and so it's not Black Sabbath. The Guess Who are not as famous as the Who, but
are they like a tribute band? No, I'm just guessing they're a Who tribute band.
You've never heard of the Guess Who?
No.
Right, so we're going to go with
George Harrison. I'll tell you a story about this song.
Yeah, okay, I'll leave it on.
If you listen to it, "My Sweet Lord," and the Clifton, I'm trying to think their name, the Cliftons or something they're called, from the 60s. They had a song, "He's So Fine." If you listen to it, the music, although in a different key, is exactly the same.
Right.
And you can sing "I'm My Sweet Lord" to their song and vice versa. The thing is, though, it wasn't deliberate. It was a pure, you know what I mean? Harrison wrote "My Sweet Lord" and didn't realise that how it sounded so much the same as that. You know what I mean? So that song must have left an imprint in his head, and without realising, composed a complete new song from it. But exactly the same, apart from different key.
So George Harrison is our final answer.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that was quite a good comeback because
we only got 2 wrong, didn't we?
We did, yeah. We got a B, which is good. 8 out of 8.8, and the average score is 8.22.
Oh, well, there you go.
44,000 people have played it. So I'm going to share it. So share it on Facebook.
Yeah, see.
Okay. So I'm going to copy the show and I'm going to share on Facebook.
You look at 70s music, some great. You look at that's the era of T-Rex, isn't it? And Slade, especially at Christmas time. Slade, not the older. Do you know what I mean? He loves Christmas because the checks just pile through the door.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So I've posted our result, and I'm going to close the window now, and we've left that on screen, so nobody saw me do that, which is good. And we'll take the quiz off. I've posted on Facebook, so it's quite possible that I'll turn our cameras back on. That somebody might join us. Otherwise, we're going for a record. We are going for a record. We're going for a situation where just let me make sure that we're still live. I'm going to press play and come up to date. And just make sure the signal's okay. The signal's gone. Right, I'm going to stop sharing. Right, okay, this is a video quality check. Your video is looking good. Mine is looking ropey. It should change in a second or two. This is a test. This is a test. And
you sort yourself out. Yeah, it looks a bit better then.
Yeah, it looks like it's coming to. I'm going to close.
Yeah, no, you look a lot better.
Right.
Is it more apps you got open, the more ropey it gets?
Yeah, I think I'm going to close another one, and hopefully, we're watching ourselves live. And
no, it looks good to me now.
Right. Okay, we've got it back. Right. Okay. Well, that was a lesson learned. As I screen shared, had too many tabs open. The video just went. Well, it was rubbish, really. And then I closed the tabs.
Back to the early days video.
It is. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we have meetings coming up about it, so perhaps we'll discover more then. But when you're actually sharing a tab, it seems to degrade the signal somewhat. Yeah, your signal stays fine. No problem.
It's these little teething things you have to get around, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Learn from them. True. You have to go through them to experience them, to learn from them.
Yep. And we're batting well here because we're going to go the whole show without anybody watching us.
Hey,
I think. Well, not live anyway. I think we keep this going at least until.
Yeah. I want this show. I've got to go after this. I can't stay here till Christmas.
Well, no. If we do this, I don't know. Shall we go back to Tuesdays next week?
Yeah. No, it was only this week. It was only this week because I had
thinking.
Yeah, no, because I had a.
No, we're good on that. I was hoping that Wednesdays will be good, and we can actually stay on Wednesdays. But obviously, people are busy on a Wednesday. Which is okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
We know about the real world that exists outside. Well, we're outside Facebook. We're actually not on Facebook at the moment.
Definitely. It's like it's a lot of shows that I like to watch live and can't. But I just watch them later on. I nip in between. I nip in on shows that are live, sometimes to say hello, just to let people know that I'm there and that I'm going to be watching it a bit later.
Yeah, to put down a marker to show that you've actually been there, and support and given support.
Yeah.
I mean, what we found is that when we did the shows last week, they got all the shows got over 100 views, and that's 100 people watching for all 5 days, and then went over to Facebook and did a premiere on Facebook, and they got a good reception too. So it just proves that you can actually go live on YouTube and then repurpose it to Facebook.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That worked well.
It sort of doubles it, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
YouTube. But then YouTube, I'm trying to sort mine out because I've only got, because it's a new account that it's not new, it's one that I haven't really done anything with on YouTube. Okay. I just stuck a load of bits of things that I find that I like on it. And just as a storage place, really, for shows for people to look at them. And it hasn't got many subscribers. Although some of the videos have been watched by a lot of people, not many subscribers. So I need 100 people to have actual name to it. Because at the moment, if I say, come and watch me on YouTube, I can't say / what Cambridge historian or whatever. All I can say is a long, stupid number that's ridiculous.
Yep. You can't remember. You're not going to be able to type it, and it's just Yeah.
I think it shouldn't be of how many subscribers you've got. It's how long you've been on YouTube.
Yeah.
They should let that. So if anybody from YouTube's watching, it should be from how long you've been there, not how many people watch you. Because you may have 50 subscribers who are dedicated followers, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Why have you got to have 100? If it's to prove that you're going to be here, I could easily get 100 subscribers and then dump a week later. It's not. I think it's about how long you should be there, not how many people.
I agree with you. They need to look at the criteria. Because it's about credibility. If you've got Cambridge historian, then people remember that, and they just go to YouTube, they type in Cambridge historian, and they'll find you. And it's important in that respect to actually get it. It's a question of just plodding on, isn't it? There is a
So that's
if you want to do it instantly. I'm not saying this, but I'll send you a link afterwards. To a group, and it's up to you whether you actually go along with that. But
all right, that sounds interesting.
Could well solve your problem.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I mean, what they do say is that you should. I mean, 2/3 of the views on my channel are by people who are not subscribed.
Yeah, that's what I get a lot of people, because it's like old programs that I've put up.
Yeah.
Old TV shows I've found interesting. I think people might like as well, and I've watched, and I put them up. And same as some people, I don't subscribe to every channel that I watch. I might see something come up, think, oh, that's brilliant, watch it, but I don't subscribe to it. And there should be no thing that's saying you've got to subscribe to it. And it feels like they're trying to force people to subscribe to things, because and pushing people to get people to subscribe to them, because to get to the bits that they need to personalize it. It shouldn't be about that. It should be about how long you've been doing it, what your content is, and how many people are watching the programs, not how many people are subscribing to it.
The quality of the content.
Exactly.
I mean, you can't get people to view content which they don't enjoy.
That's right. And that's what it seems to be like. Subscribe to people. And if they might like one thing that you've done, like one show, that probably I'll put something up. I thought, well, that's what I remember watching that when I was at school, that show, when I was a kid. But that mean that I'm going to watch all the rest that I do.
Oh, that's true. What I've found though on YouTube is that people watch for longer than they do on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's like me. I watch everything from the beginning to the end. Really, I like watching documentaries that are on there and anything history related and paranormal. I've got this group on there that does people's experience of the paranormal. So basically, talking about what people experience, and you don't have to look at the picture.
Right.
They're talking to you, so you can look at the pictures if you want to. And what I do is I sit there and relax when I'm all alone in bed, just before I go to bed, and sit there and listen to these stories. Sometimes I fall asleep listening to them, but doesn't matter. But it's a nice way, like you listen to these stories, and it's a bit like a radio thing. And like some of the strange things that people that they've claimed that have gone through is unbelievable.
There's some brilliant things on YouTube. I mean, you can find virtually anything you like. If you're looking for a how-to video, the first port of call is YouTube.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And we've got. I'll just give you, for instance, we've got a boiler in the kitchen, gas boiler which loses pressure. Yeah. Now you don't want to call out an engineer, because a heating engineer is 65 quid an hour.
Yeah.
So what do? You
Look on YouTube.
Go to YouTube, and you type in the boiler maker and the model, and up comes a beautiful video which takes you step by step through resetting the pressure, and it's just so easy to follow and do.
I don't even use instructions for anything now. I've always hated instructions. I call them destructions because they wind me up that much. So what I do is if anything I've got new that needs actual knowledge of understanding how to put it together, I go on YouTube and get somebody to tell me, which is easy. Like, okay, you have to put this plug into that plug, or do that, or you need to open this window. It's like on my software, I was trying to do something to edit, and I sat there for ages trying to, how do I do that? How do I get that there? Why is it so hard to get it there? Right? Which buttons do I press? And I couldn't do it. So I looked on YouTube and found out I could have done it if I'd gone to the video in like 10 seconds. It's like, you need to go this. Or...
Yeah. The number of, I mean, we all want to, it's a challenge. When you get a piece of software, you want to work it out and be able to run with it without going back to the manual. And the other thing is that it's a matter of pride, because you've got to have the technical expertise to do this.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the approach, and it happens to me as well, is that you miss the leading the obvious.
Yeah, and this was it was obvious in my face, basically. And sometimes you do it. Sometimes you can know the basics, but some things that when you want to take a next step up on it, that it's there in front of you, but you just don't notice it because it's probably laid out in a different way than what you know. And the only software that I've ever struggled with, even by using YouTube tutorials, is I got this software that they use within TV. They make cartoons. Actually, some programs that are on TV, they use the same software. And even with YouTube instructions and people telling me, I still can't work the thing out.
Yeah.
So I've give it a rest for a little while. I've hid it in the background thinking it's on my computer. I'll come back to that in a few months with a fresh head, and maybe I was missing something or wasn't paying attention enough. So I'm going to come back to it. Yeah,
there are. I mean, that's basically bad design, possibly. If you can't actually figure it out.
It's just it's so complex because they use it for TV shows. I think it's the same software that's used to produce Peppa Pig on TV. Yeah. And it looks so easy how they do it, but the layers you have to put in, and then the movements, you have to move the characters, and it's
like stop animation, but on
and it's then if you miss a layer, it all goes haywire and all that. Then you got to remember, there's just so much to remember what you've got to do.
Yeah. If you're wondering what the badge is, and if you're watching the replay, you want to know, then the badge is for the live video hub.
It's the other side. You're looking in reverse. You can. I do that as well.
That badge, live video hub. Yeah, I am looking in reverse. You're quite right.
It's like if I try and point to that sign behind me, I'm pointing. It's that way, but I'm pointing that way because everything's back to front.
If I want to point to you, I've got to go like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I go like that, I'm pointing the wrong way.
Yeah.
And it's counterintuitive.
It's even you get used to it though. It's like reversing a car, isn't it? Everything's back to front.
It is if you do it right.
Yeah. If you do it right, and don't run over 3 pedestrians and hit a bus.
I sometimes wonder what would happen if a dog could drive.
There is a video on YouTube talking about YouTube. Look up on YouTube the dog that can drive, and there's a real dog that can drive a car.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but
yeah, that's the type of video that tends to go viral, isn't it?
Yeah.
Animals doing things that we wouldn't expect them to do.
Well, there is a few things on Facebook as well, dogs driving cars, but
I've seen that one too.
Yeah. Did you watch that one?
I did.
That's quite alarming, that one.
Yeah. It is totally, and we'll see.
But the one I was talking about on YouTube is done on one of those airport places, like one of the runways. So they cut and run over pedestrians and kill people. It's all under safety things. But the one on Facebook I saw earlier definitely wasn't. It was on the main road. and quite a speed as well.
Yeah, it should have carried a warning: do not try this at home
or in your car. Yeah,
in your car.
And you can't rely on your dog driving.
No, we're two things. One broadcasting from your mobile while you're driving, because we're always saying don't stream and drive. And the second thing was the dog actually driving the car, and the guy sat like that so that you knew that he wasn't his hands on the steering wheel.
Weren't holding it at all.
No, he wasn't. It was just
I started questioning what has he been sniffing this morning.
It's two videos in within a week. That have caught your eye, and
but I did message and telling him that your dog shouldn't be driving the car, and if he did pass his test, who passed him. But I've got no reply.
No, well, I wouldn't expect a reply, because then he'd have to put his hand up to actually doing it.
It's just silly. It's a bit of fun, but then when you look at it on TV programs, and it's done in, it's all health and safety is thought about, and what you're seeing is not what you're really seeing. It could be edited to make it look like.
That's right.
So you don't copy these things in real life. It's the same as wrestling. My son's big into wrestling, and it says at the beginning, do not try this at home, school, or anywhere, because they are trained people. Because what you're seeing is basically a bunch of wrestling, although probably upset a lot of people. It's fake. It's not real, but it's all planned out. But saying that doesn't mean that people still don't get hurt. Do you know what I mean? They take risks in respect, like throw each other off cage. I've seen extreme wrestling where they've beat each other with barbed wire and got tacks sticking out the head, and you can see they're really bleeding. But that's all. They all know how best way to fall. So when they're falling on these things or hitting somebody with these things, you're not seeing it in the same way as what you are seeing it through the camera.
True. I mean, one of the first things I learned at judo, and we're going back a year or two now, was how to fall. And how to fall so that you don't hurt yourself. So if you're going backwards, what you actually need to do, and that stayed with me throughout all my days. And if I fall, I very rarely come a cropper. Having said that, I don't want to tempt fate.
The
other thing is that Angelica's son, Martin, used to pro wrestle in Bristol. And Angelica was afraid of him coming home black and blue, which he often did.
You still get injuries and that, but it is basically what it is. I find it, because a lot of them fly through the air, jump. It's more gymnastics and the way you fall, but you can fall the wrong way. You can, like, there is instance it's like people have died wrestling and stuff. So but it is all the story. There is a storyline. The basic thing is fate. They know who's going to win, basically. But that doesn't mean to say they're not going to get hurt.
Well, there's a journey. They've got to go through each individual round until they actually get to where they're headed. Anything can generally happen, and anything can happen to us too. Welcome anybody who's watching us live at the moment. We do appreciate your being here. If you'd like to comment, they will feature your comment on the screen. This will be live studio too, and we can do that. We can feature comments. If you've got any questions about anything technical, about radio, about live video, or about Cambridge, or about devices, then we're here to answer your question. If there's anything goes. If you only just joined us, then we did a music quiz earlier, and we've got a challenge for you. Fonz and I, working as a team, scored 8 out of 10. Now, the quiz is the beginning of the show. If you can score better than 8 out of 10, then let us know. There's a gap between asking the question and giving the answer, or trying to give the answer, and whilst we reminisce, because Fonz is a music buff and I'm not far behind, so we know the history of all the groups.
It's funny because I know music before I was born than what I do while I'm living.
Indeed. Well, it's a music of the 60s, 70s and 80s that's actually, it's just evergreen.
I think, I'm not being funny, I've noticed that a lot of young people are actually listening to 60s music. I was sitting on the train and there's this young lad and his girlfriend, and they were sitting opposite me, and he was playing music, and actually he was playing the Beatles, and Yeah, he was playing the Beatles, all the love songs and all that, because he was sitting with her. But you're thinking, wow, I mean, he looks about 18 or something like that. So he's like sitting there playing Beatles music, and you think, younger generation.
Yeah, I mean, I Want to Hold Your Hand was 55 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's crazy. It's still, I mean, it even go back further, Buddy Holly.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard modern singers, country singers, sing his songs.
Yeah.
And they still sound just as fresh today as when he sang them originally. They could still be made and be a hit, basically, because they're timeless. Yeah. Of course, they could reinvent, you know what I mean? They add new bits here and there, you know what I mean? Better quality in respect, not because any songs he was rubbish singer, because he's brilliant, but the studio equipment that he had is nowhere near what he's got. You know what I mean? What would be available now? Buddy Holly was alive now and didn't die. Imagine what he'd be churning out. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's always music. It's timeless. And the same with the Beatles. You can hear their songs as well. And a lot of 60s groups, you hear songs, and I find it with a lot of songs. I listen to something and I think, I know that song. Yep. It's funny because you know that song by Akon, Lonely. I'm lonely, that one. Okay. And my kids, when that came out, my kids were loving that song. Oh, it's a brilliant new song. You know what I mean? Look, Dad, there's a song that's actually new, right? And actually, you can't say this in good. Yeah, and I go, it is good. Actually, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant song, yeah. But you do realise that Bobby Vinton sung it ages ago.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Cover versions, and people just pay homage to the Beatles songs.
Yeah,
by doing their own versions.
I think the Beatles will live long, even hundreds of years in the future. People look back on the Beatles as one of the all-time greatest, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Tell you what's happened in Devisers. We've just got in this year a new music shop opened in Devisers.
Do they do records?
And it's vinyl only.
Well, there was a few vinyl shops in Cambridge, but there's only one left now.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Well, this guy's doing quite well. He's doing new records.
I thought you were going to say nude records.
No. He's doing new kit, so you can get a new record player and an amp and all the gears we used to have it.
But young people have, like my son's wife. She's got a record player, right? And I was going through my records when my son was here. So I got my grandson here, and he found Grease in my record collection.
Yeah.
And he begged me for it to give it to her. And so I said, yeah, it's a record you can easily get hold of. So I gave it to him. So, but you know what I mean? But it's somebody like generation below me playing records and enjoying them.
True. And it's I think vinyl's here to stay because
it's a genius
around in circles.
Yeah, it's a genius. What people don't realize is when you look at it, how that music comes from that disc.
Yep. Well, when I were a lad, we used to got kits that you make yourself at Christmas, and one of them was the phonograph.
Yeah.
Which was a wax cylinder with a playing arm and then a great big horn off the end, and it recorded and it played.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
I've got a record then. I think I've showed it before, with the old train station, where you'd go in there, put your money in, and it record a message on vinyl, and then you took it with you and give it to somebody as a present. One-sided, but people used to go in them with a guitar and their mate and sing and produce their own record. And but I've got one with a message from some gal who's detailing her day, saying it's raining outside, that she's been swimming, looks forward, and then there's an announcement on the background for the next train, which is brilliant.
I mean, we're lucky with the technology we have today. We are extremely lucky.
Although I'd have loved to have been part of that technology. I'd love to have been able to go to a train station and sit there strumming with my guitar playing Buddy Holly.
Perhaps you could persuade the local station to have a 50s day.
Not in Cambridge, they wouldn't.
All right, okay. Enough said. I mean, there's a guy. Somebody complained today that he got the train from to Reading, and it was a return ticket, and he was only going one stop, and he got charged $38.80.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's the main line from Bristol to London.
Oh yeah,
people know that. The British Rail know that, and National Rail as well.
Thing is, I can't see where they make a profit on the trains, really, because it's a lot of money involved with what they've got, and it's some of it. It's not. I can't see the big money income really from trains.
Well, we've got. I mean, there's still dithering over HS2, which is going to go London, Birmingham, Manchester, and then over to Leeds and what have you. And that's going to cost billions. We couldn't build a railway network now. We just couldn't afford to.
No.
We're just lucky that the Victorians did.
Oh, definitely, yeah. But then they didn't have the government we've got nowadays.
Only for another 9 days, Fonz. Only for 9 days.
I am sick, and I'm not being funny. I'm sick and tired. What really annoys me, right, I'm not taking sides. And if I look at it from a neutral point of view, just saying, from a neutral point of view, what annoys me, what I see, is you got Labour and Jeremy Corbyn, people claiming that he's done all these things. Now, if he's done them or not, that's nothing. I'm just saying that he's the claim. Then you flick through Facebook a bit further, and you've got Boris Johnson, all these things that people claiming he's done. Now, the thing is, are we being fed fake news because of this, or what is going on here? Because it's all trying to make people decide because of these stories that are being told. And to me, it's a bit of also it's a bit naughty, really, in that way.
Totally, I agree. You don't know what to believe.
No, that's right. You don't know if that's true or not, and if it is true, unfortunately with social media, we live in that type of world where he's done this, and this, and he's also done this, and this. Although we can't prove it, but we'll put it in a picture saying this is what he's done and what he's done. And now, I'm not saying they have either of them have done what being claimed. I don't know, but it shouldn't be. What if it's done? It should be official, not somebody putting a post up on that.
It should also be more positive. I do despair that they keep attacking each other, rather than pushing the positives that they're going to do if they're in power or become your MP. And I mean, once a day, you used to vote for the MP.
Yeah.
Now you vote in for the party, and that gets away from the original idea that person was supposed to represent views of your locality. I mean, the other thing is that this is turned out to be a nasty election too. I mean, for the first time in years, we normally have a sticker in the window at the front. I'm not saying which party, but the sticker goes in the window and it stays there until after the election.
Yeah.
We've not done that because somebody down the road not only had stickers in the window, but had the for sale signs outside.
Yeah.
But instead of the for sale, it's got the party on it. Okay. And people keep nicking them.
Yeah. That's what I mean. You're going to get people as well. It's whatever choice you make, it's your own individual choice. It's like a football match. That's what it's like. It's like you support one team, and if the other team and that team don't like that, they're going to get shirty with you and the same thing. And your personal views actually can cause worry, thinking, well, if I promote that I support them, and I know full well the guy down the road supports this other party, is he going to come and kick my sign down? Is he going to smash all my flowers up? Is he going to throw a brick through my window? You know what I mean? Pour petrol through my letterbox.
That neatly brings me on to my football story. Amazon Prime last night showed Premier League football for the first time ever.
Yeah.
because it's normally on Sky, but Amazon obviously paid some money, and they brought 2 matches last night, 6 tonight, and the first match yesterday was with my local team, which is Burnley.
Oh, right.
And Burnley were playing at home to Man City, and
Who won?
Man City deserve to win. I've got to say that they spend more on one player than Burnley spend on the whole team.
Oh, right. So
And that's
bigger budget.
I mean, the population of Burnley is 70,000. Population of Manchester is millions.
Yeah.
And the manager just doesn't have the budget. But it was just one of those nights of spectacular football. Unfortunately, we were on the wrong end.
But the thing is that's what I'm not a football person. But thing is with me, even if I'm on the losing team, if it was me, if I was on the losing team, I would still enjoy what they did during the match and be there to support them. And football's not turned like that. It's turned against a grudge match now with some people. Not everybody, some people. And I think politics has gone the same way. It's just a grudge match, really, isn't it?
It is. You're quite right. Right. Shall we... we've had a good natter. Shall we take a break and come back here next week on Tuesday?
Yeah, back to the usual time. I've got no appointments next Tuesday.
Okay. Fonz, it's over to you.
Yep. No, thanks. Thanks for watching. And what was we talking about? Football.
We've talked about everything.
Remember, when watching football, they're not a particular political party. I learned to speak properly in a minute. Political party. Right. I've totally forgot what I was going to say now.
Okay.
And you hate that. No, they're not a political party. So don't treat them the same. Something like that. I was going to say. Yeah. My mind's just gone blank. Because I was thinking.
Okay. From Fonz and me, thanks for watching.
And if anybody can remember what I want, please let me know.
We'll start the show with it next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Stopping streaming. That's a wrap.